Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Unscripted and Unchained RPG Review. I am Castlekeeper Bloodworth, and as you can see by the graphics, today's video is a continuation of the character class spotlight for Castles and Crusades, and today I'll be taking a look at the Thief. The Thief has always been one of my favorite character classes, going all the way back to old school D&D, Holmes Edition, Moldvay Edition, and then obviously AD&D First Edition, including the Thief Acrobat when Unearthed Arcana came out. Thieves have always been one of my favorite character classes, and good to see that Castles and Crusades has the Thief as a subclass, and the Rogue is in the main player's handbook as their primary one of their primary classes. I've never actually liked the separation, and I've never had a problem with it. With the character being called a thief. So, what I am going to do during the course of this video is I am going to show a comparison between the rogue and the thief so that you can see just through the stat blocks. I'm not going to go into much detail. You can always go back to the video for rogues, and I will link it in the ending credits of the video. And so you can always go back there and take a look at my overview of the rogue. But I will do a real quick comparison between the two once we get there. So, without further ado, let's take a look at the thief in Castles and Crusades. So here we have the thief, and it is obviously a dexterity-based character class. So its prime attribute is dexterity. In the sprawling towns and cities, vast urban complexes rife with villainous malcontents, there are those who refuse to follow the law. Whether by choice or necessity, some choose a life of crime to acquire their worldly needs and desires. They steal, borrow, snatch, deceive, blackmail, forge, conspire, smuggle, and swindle others to get what they want. They roam the crowded marketplaces, the shadows of dark alleys, and shops of merchants, the halls of the wealthy, temples, taverns, magical libraries, and anywhere else one can take something by quick wit and deft hands. Because their abilities are so widely varied, and because there is almost always a manner in which to make money from theft, blackmail, or forgery, the thief can be found anywhere. They often hide behind the guise of honest servants, merchants, functionaries, nobles, or others. They also act in the open without regard to concealing their identity. Thieves come from the noblest of classes, the basest of social swill. What they have in common are their ability to steal and the desire to do so. Thieves depend much on their knowledge of people and their targets to acquire what they desire and swindle the unprepared. They look for easy marks, for the gullible and the unaware. They study their surroundings, their targets, and the ins and outs of that which they consider an exploitable situation. Their knowledge comes from much from their raw intelligence or extensive study and practice. But the most successful of thieves have an intuitive grasp of people, their emotions, disposition, nature, a seemingly innate sense of the world around them, and the manner in which others navigate through it. They use conjecture and an inherent sense of how things work. This, more than anything, exposes the weaknesses of others and is what allows a thief to exploit them so effectively. So, this one paragraph here makes the thieves sound like they are deep, deep thinkers and analysts of their praise. Um, of their prey's actions and and circumstances that they find. So high situational awareness seems to be a big factor here as well. Let's continue. Thieves prize their ability to blend in with those around them, to look innocuous, to be invisible in the middle of a crowd by appearing common and ordinary. For this reason, thieves eschew the use of almost all but the most light of armor and small weapons. They do so because the vast majority of their activities do not require them to fight or battle others. In fact, they prefer not to directly engage others at all. They prefer to preoccupy themselves with their activities alone and unseen in dark places. They study their opponents to avoid conflict and case potential targets to avoid mishaps. In a corner or in a pinch, the thief is a deadly opponent, even more than the common rogue, for a thief's world has the potential for threat and violence at every turn. Theirs is a chaotic world full of unsavory characters who are more than willing to take a life to get what they want. Their abilities. So they have a backstab ability, as does the rogue. And so I'm not going to go into very much detail here. Backstabbing is a very commonplace ability for all rogues and thieves. Uh, Real quickly, a successful backstab inflicts double damage to the target. The damage inflicts includes the weapon's normal damage plus all applicable modifiers, such as attribute bonuses or magical bonuses. For example, a thief with a +1 strength modifier backstabs a goblin and rolls a d6 for the short sword being used. The damage is d6 +1, and then the damage is doubled as the thief rises. So that's a little bit different, right? Than you might see in other systems where they just roll the damage die a second time. Here, you're getting double the damage. At 5th level, a backstab deals triple the damage. At 9th, a backstab inflicts quadruple the damage. And at 13th, 5 times the damage, quintuple. Again, the multiple damage is calculated by rolling the normal weapon damage, adding all modifiers, and then multiplying the result based on the thief's level. Additionally, if the target of a backstab is caught unaware, the thief gains a +4 bonus to hit in addition to extra damage above. Okay. So dexterity is, climb is a dexterity based ability. Backstabbing was not based on any attribute. So climbing is a dexterity based ability. This extraordinary ability allows a thief to climb up or down or across a slope wall, steep incline, even ceiling with handholds, or unusually angled natural or man-made slope or incline that others would find impossible to climb. Escape is a dexterity base. The thief has an uncanny ability to escape non-magical bindings and can attempt to do so with a dexterity check. Chains and ropes are slightly looser or tighter if breaking them is necessary. Okay. Find, remove, and set traps is an intelligence based skill. Thieves are skilled at finding, removing, and setting mechanical traps, typically of small size, involving spring traps, needles, blades, and the like. Hearing noise is based on wisdom. A thief can use this ability to hear noises that others might not detect, even though an obstacle such as a door success indicates that the thief can hear soft sound like a whisper or a cat stalking while outside or in the open and up to a range of 30 feet. Hiding in shadows is based on dexterity. Thieves use the ability to conceal themselves from others A successful check means that the thief is hidden so well as to be almost invisible. At more than one half and to one full speed, they can move at more than one half to full speed with a -5 penalty. Um, if a thief is moving up to one half normal speed and remain hidden, so they can move up to half their speed and remain hidden. Anything above that is a -5 penalty. Move silently. The ability allows a thief to move so silently that others cannot hear the movement. And I've gone over this when I went over the rogue as well. So fairly basic. Opening locks, dexterity based. Picking pockets, dexterity based. Reading arcane languages. This is intelligence based. And so slightly different than the read magic that you often see with rogues. Here they can read arcane languages, and they can decipher those scripts and pages and such. Thieves can't, also common with rogues. And so here we have the attributes, right? So the prime attribute is dexterity. Their HD is a D6. Their alignment is any neutral or evil. Weapons, they have a plethora of weapons. As I said, nothing super big. And armor, just leather armor, leather coat, or padded only. And their abilities are backstab, climb walls, find, remove, and set traps, hear noise, hide in shadows, move silently, open locks, pickpockets, read arcane languages, and thieves can't. They get a D6 as their HD, and as you can see, their basic to hit starts at +1 at level 2, remains at +1 for level 3, and then it's +2 and +2 for 4 and 5, +3 and +3 for 6 and 7, and so on. They get to +5 at level 10. Then I'm not sure why. This could be a misprint. Um, it goes down to +4 at 11 and 12. That must be a misprint. Um, but they get +2 hit points for every level above 10. So I'm going to double check that. That might be a misprint. And this is possibly an older printing of the player's handbook, so might have been corrected in a later version. So I am going to switch views here, and I want to go to doing this here and make sure I'm on. So this is the rogue that you're looking at now. And the rogue, so the rogue is dexterity based, still the same thing. The D6 is the hit die. Alignment is any now. So a rogue can be any alignment. They have the same armor restrictions. Pretty much looks like the same weapons that they can use. They have the back attack, all right, which is different than the backstab. Back attack is slightly different. Allows them to get the +4, but they don't necessarily do the extra damage, or at least it's not doubled, and then tripled and quadrupled and such. They have can't, they have climb, they have decipher script, which is different than read the arcane languages. They have hide, they have listen, move silently, open lock, pickpockets, traps, and sneak attack. All right, so they do have backstab and a sneak attack, which is slightly different. Um, and you can see here they are going from +1 to +4 all the way through. I have a feeling that this one here is a mistype. It should have been +4 all the way through. Not sure. So I will certainly inquire about that, or take a look at my updated player's handbook. and see if that's been corrected. So anyway, so there you have the thief class. Again, I think that this is fully interchangeable and usable in in place of the rogue. So it's one of those classes that's not niche. It's certainly a very common class that could make its way and possibly even should make its way into your use as a castle keeper to allow your players to play a thief, especially if they want to play the neutral or possibly evil character as well, um, and just have a more seedier side to them, which is one of the reasons why I really like this picture that I found, on the internet. And here you have a thief who has clearly killed somebody and is now robbing the ring off of his finger and such. So it does have a much more darker image of the thief as compared to the rogue. So as always, thank you for joining. I hope you like this video. Um, Apologize for the long break. I unexpectedly had to go to work this week and cover for a colleague who had a family emergency. So I wish him and his family all the best, and my condolences as well. And so it's not a burden to have to fill in for him, but it has delayed my videos. So I'm planning on getting right back to it. I have one more day of work, and then starting Friday, I'm off from Friday all the way until August 28th. So I'll have plenty of time to do videos and get caught back up again. So the thief is actually the second to last of the classes of the character class spotlight. So I only have one more to go, and looking forward to that. And then I'll start taking a look at some other books in the Castles and Crusades library that I've built over these many months. And I just picked up two new books as well. So I'm going to be digging into those as we go through the next couple of weeks. And thanks for popping in again, and I hope you like this. And if you hadn't subscribed, please consider subscribing. Uh, Hit the thumbs up, questions and comments, put those in the comments section. I love being able to answer, or chat back and forth amongst the comments, and really does the channel well for doing that. And that's one thing that I've always really appreciated is the comments in there. Obviously, shares and subscriptions are great as well. And just keep on gaming out there. And if you're playing Castles and Crusades, let's share some stories. Let's talk about your game in any of my videos here. If you want to talk about your gaming experience with Castles and Crusades, you're certainly welcome to do so on my channel. So you have a great rest of your day. Take care. Thanks.